All right, boys and girls, we are back for another episode of the Tacho Show. And we have the Datamines here, courtesy of Mr. Gengar and Tsukasa, of course, as always. With the Datamines for Emblem Micaiah, we got her stats and everything there. And we also have her artwork. So, where do we want to start? Why don't we start with her stats here? So, let's go ahead and pull that up. And, yeah, this should be just about big enough. Also, by the way, I noticed that they posted the Boons and Banes the last time that I did a Datamine, but I didn't notice they also included the BST all the way at the bottom there, so just making my life ever more easier, man. Gengar and Tsukasa just killing it here. Oh, if we can throw a shout out to them, by the way, here is a link to their Ko-Fi if you want to go ahead and give them a little donation there, give them a dono, which would be very appreciated, of course. And let's go ahead and take a look at her stats now. So HP, we've got 40. Attack, we've got 49. And then 30 speed, 20 defense, and 49 res. Obviously, the defense and speed, I think, could have been swapped. Would have definitely made this unit a whole lot more better. Because you're really not doing anything with 30 speed. It's there so she can bully, like, slower armor-type units that rely on Wary Fighter. So, like, if she's got a guaranteed follow-up effect or a null follow-up effect or whatever, she can just eat through their Wary Fighter and double attack them, maybe even quad them if she has Brave support from somewhere. So that's the main reason why they give her speed, but in this particular case, I think the extra bulk would have been a lot better. Now, regardless of that, also her BST is 188, which is not the worst for a range type unit, but still below Cyril. Which is just insulting at this point, man. Like, seriously, you guys know when Cyril came out? That was like CYL 7. That was like 2 years ago that dude came out, and he's still influencing range BST. What the hell? Like, what do people at Insys HQ love so much about Cyril? I don't know. It's like he's just a Rhea simp. I guess, I mean, maybe someone self-inserted themselves as Cyril in Three Houses. Like, Cyril is someone straight out of the dev team, because literally, all that dude does is stay in his room and draw pictures of Rhea's thick booty all day. So, I mean, I guess I can kind of relate, except I don't draw. But, yeah, so, her BST is okay, I guess. Stat line looks pretty good with the exception of the speed and defense thing, like I said. Attack and res both being at 49 is ridiculous. Boons and Banes here, we've got minus HP, minus speed, and minus defense. And then for Boons, we've got plus attack and plus res, which is exactly where you want them. And it's rare nowadays that we actually get two relevant Boons on a brand new unit. Usually it's just one and they call it a day there. But yeah, 2 Super Boons, very nice. A lot of people were hoping she was going to break the 50 barrier and be the first unit to have either 50 res or 50 attack or whatever. But no, looks like we're still going to have to wait a little bit on that. Okay, so there we go for Micaiah's stats. Her ring effect is really goddamn powerful. So she's able to turn anyone into Dragon Ymir, basically, which, I mean, people were using that Dragon Ymir unironically. Like, legitimately, she was a good option on teams because of the penalty cleanse and the action economy. And what makes it so good, too, is that it's a mid-turn penalty cleanse. So if we're talking about SD, where the enemies may be doing mid-turn debuffs or whatever, like, in the middle of a turn, they pop a duo skill that would inflict exposure or sabotage or whatever, like, do whatever debuffs to you. You can just go ahead and remove it. And it's a great way to use an action, too, because a lot of times in SD, you just want to whiff an action to give the opponent the first move. And being able to penalty cleanse while doing that is just adding even more efficiency to your moves. So, yeah, she's really good. Her ring is really good. I actually think they went a little overboard with the sacrifice on her. The way they handled sacrifice here is really unlike how it worked in Radiant Dawn, which, I mean, she has to sacrifice her own HP in order to heal somebody. Here, she just heals everybody without losing anything herself. So, yeah, obviously from a gameplay perspective, that makes sense, because it's just going to be stronger. But thematically, maybe not so much. But, yeah, otherwise, not really any negatives to say about her. Also, she's still effective against armor and cavalry, so you know what that means. She's going to be nuking all of the far save armors pretty much to hell. I I think she can beat Burger King pretty clean. I haven't summoned her yet, obviously, because she's not out, but I'm fairly sure this Micaiah is going to trounce Legendary Black Knight. And you can hold my word to that, because she's got effective against armor. You can possibly set her up to quad as well. If she's quadding, like, he's done. Like, he ain't got a chance. If she hits him twice in a row, that's it. But he relies mainly on the reflex and the reflect damage in order to really be a threat. But keep in mind, she's getting cooldown pulsing support on her weapon, and then I believe she gets it on one of her passives as well. So she can essentially be at -2 cooldown, and then she hits the enemy, and she's basically going to hit him immediately with her special, which is a souped-up version of Iceberg. And her res is really fat, too, so that's going to play up to her damage there. And then she also has the... How do we want to describe the weapon bonus damage that she's getting, where it's the highest total penalties on the target enemy and enemies within 2 spaces? That's going to hit hard, man. Like, she's one-shotting basically any armor, I would imagine. She easily beat the New Year Needhogger in the trailer, so I think it's probably a wrap for all the other armors if that's the case. Okay, so with that out of the way, very good unit, definitely a must-summon. Let's go ahead and take a look at her artwork, which... Can you believe this is actually controversial to some people? Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, this is bad art? I think this is pretty good art, actually. With the exception of the face in the neutral art, I think that's a little bit weird. She's got, like, this 1,000-yard stare for some reason. But everything else looks great. The effect, the blue pop on the emblem, which they always do, like, it's always overdone. But it kind of matches her, too, because she already wears blue in her outfit. So the blue isn't really clashing too much with her. All right, then we have the attacking artwork, which is pretty good. I mean, this is like special attack art level, and this is just her regular attack. I guess, again, her face maybe could be a little bit better, but other than that, I like this quite a bit. And then we got the special attack art there. Not really too much of an improvement over the regular attack, but I mean, it was already pretty good there, like, for a special attack pose. So I guess that's understandable. And then finally, we got the injured artwork there. This one's a little bit weird. Like, the way she's posing is kind of weird. Like, would you ever pose like that? Even if you were getting beat up, would you pose like that? Probably not. But I guess it is. I guess the idea is that she's turning the pages in Danny while she's getting hit there. But then why is she, like, leaning, and why is her head tilted that way? Seems kind of weird. But it is what it is. I don't think there's any reason to be downplaying this art at all. Outside of maybe the face, like, that's the only issue I have. Everything else is great. And please don't turn on Suzuki Rika, man. She's one of the best artists that we have in Fae. So, yeah, there you guys go for the Datamines here for Emblem Micaiah. I am definitely going to be summoning. I'm going to be sniping colorless, and hopefully I can get her without needing to spark. Because I've been on a streak, actually, of not having to get the Fae Pass. Mainly because a lot of the recent banners have just been skips. But I'm actually doing pretty good after the Duo Marth situation where I was down pretty bad on orbs. Now we're back up, and we are getting back to a pretty decent amount of saved orbs. So, yeah, hopefully I can get her. Hopefully you guys summoning are going to be able to get her as well. Casting a Rally Up Luck Plus to everybody watching the video. So, yeah, that's going to wrap us up for this one. Hopefully my Monster Hunter update download has finished, and I can go fight Legaia Cruz now. So, this is your boy Tacho signing out. Thanks for watching the video, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.